You guys are exploring a little bit. You, Ashley, and also Trace Crow, right? That's the other guy. So
Yeah.
you guys have just started almost like this, collective kind of podcast thing because it has now gotten to the point where people were like hounding you guys on Twitter and everything. Like, what are you guys doing with this? Because this is such a great idea.
Yeah.
But now you guys are here. I mean, I was part of one of those, cheerleaders.
Yeah, you were one of our biggest cheerleaders.
But now it's happening.
Imagine.
So can you talk us a little bit about that update and then what's kind of the future? Because again, you had just talked about kind of the pitfalls of Twitter and podcasting and that stuff. But then how can you guys moving forward, like, you guys are honest about that, I'm assuming. So what are you guys doing to maybe mitigate some of those pitfalls?
Yeah, well, I think the Doomer Optimist podcast is part of that. I mean, a lot of it I think is we're just trying to have conversations with people who have some kind of knowledge to share, who can help people, or who are doing something that's really positive in the world, right? Like maybe they, maybe they have a really successful farm, permaculture farm, or maybe, I don't know, they're developing some kind of platform or digital currency that can bring people together some way, and we're just trying to have conversation with those with people who we see are not naive techno optimists, but are trying to do something positive in the world, right? And just direct people, give them a platform basically. Yeah. So for example, like Ashley just talked with this guy Josh, who's just relatively unknown guy, but he's been homesteading for like 10 years and he's developed, he's really good at it, right? Like he has a lot of knowledge to share that, so like giving him a voice, and
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, right?
Yeah,
and so
huge.
like, and then for the listener, seeing all of these examples of alternative ways of living, perhaps they can get involved with various projects, right? So just trying to be a connecting force among all of these different, often isolated, endeavors or very small scale endeavors, and make it more broad scale. So increase the connectivity across, all of these different folks that are trying to do something.
And I would, one of my biggest pushbacks, I guess or maybe one of my biggest things I would have said a critique when you guys started was like, hey, don't just do kind of the podcast, like kind of branch out into other things.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that I saw was you guys' website, the resource website. I think Chris Dancy did something with that.
Yeah.
Beautiful, incredible, because then that is like, it's a repository of information that anyone and everyone can go in and what do you want? You want something about permaculture first? You want homesteading? Or great. So if you guys become, that's like, again, pie in the sky stuff. But I was really floored when you guys kind of saw that. So are there any other kind of things like that in the mix, or what else are you guys going to try to do?
I've kind of like been less active so far in the start stage. Ashley, fair. I think Ashley has 100 ideas a minute about these kinds of things. Right. That's the idea. I mean, so the thing is, we can't. I don't want to over-determine what it's going to become. Right. So I want it to evolve and get different people involved. And I'm so far I'm happy. Like we've had Anarcho-Contrarian, that account. He's booked 2 guests. Him and Joe Norman are going to be interviewing Ben Falk, who's a really well-known permaculture guy. Okay. Right. And so I think at this stage we're just trying to get as many people involved as possible and make it really like a collective, not just like with rotating hosts and different formats. It could have regular interview style, but it could also be roundtable, fireside chat.
I like that.
It could even be debates. Slowly, people stepping up like Chris Dancy to actually start aggregating, some of the resources that people are throwing around. Yeah. And so that's, so I'm hoping, I don't want to, I feel like whatever I say of what we want to do, it won't happen. Right. But something that, but unexpected things will happen. And so
emergence will happen.
It's an evolving organism. And, I don't feel like I'm central to it. I feel like I'm a bit player, and I can try and help as much as I can, but it's going to be as successful as a whole group of people want it to be successful, and want to use it as a platform to highlight, to bring something new to awareness, right?
Well, we're in that train, and we'll obviously, I'm putting it out there that we'll be part of this collective as well. And then I just started thinking, obviously, like with us going to Germany, that might be an interesting kind of thing. Is like, what are they doing over there?
Right.
And then you guys can take the differences of that, and then
exactly.
learn,
Exactly. Yeah, you can be our German connection.
Yeah, exactly.